Women see themselves as the younger woman. That's why they become envious of the younger women. But men see themselves as the younger men. That's why they tell this guy, hey, you're messing up here. And if you go down that lane, you're going to suffer. That's the difference. And now men should target being that man that every woman wants to be with. But at the same time, being that man that every man wants to be like. So don't be surprised when you see a lot of infertility out here. Don't be surprised when you see a lot of disorder out here. It's because of the low testosterone levels that are coming in as a result of bad diets and lifestyles. It's all about that. These are things that you can easily fix. You don't need somebody to guide you through these things. You can actually follow. And my platforms are literally full of information. It's only that most men are actually so lazy. And this laziness is actually estrogen. Men are so lazy, they can't go through my YouTube channel to just see what I share there about the reproductive health of men. They can't go on my Telegram. I have a Telegram channel that is called Health and Wellness Sport. So be part of that too. A lot of information is there and you can learn a lot from it. My Facebook page is Lewis Muchile. Go there and learn something. Go through the timeline. Don't come there and read one post. Don't go on my TikTok and read one and listen to one video. And then you come into my inbox. You use this contact to come into my inbox. You want an inquiry. I just met your video yesterday. I'm like, yesterday? And you're here. And you're asking me if these consultations are supposed to be paid for. They are paid for. You have to pay for that time. I cannot make these videos all day long. I do these lives. I educate you for free. And then you still come with the entitlement to ask me if my consultations are supposed to be paid for. That is the highest form of ignorance. Friends, let's respect each other, okay? So yes, there's another condition in men that is called hydrocele. I'll talk about it. But hydrocele is just basically accumulation of fluid in the scrotum. The fluid filled sacs. And that is inflammation. And by the way, what are the 3 foods that we always say they are inflammatory foods? That is my question to every one of you. What do you think are the 3 inflammatory foods that we talk about on this platform every other time? When I talk about anything called inflammation, I'm actually talking about those 3 foods. So if you know those 3 foods already, you're safe. There's 3 foods, just 3 groups of foods. And then when you drop those 3 types of foods, now you drop masturbation. But masturbation is super addictive because when you ejaculate during that masturbation, you release the dopamine hormone. You release other hormones that are called the endorphins. These are hormones that are actually released when you inject yourself with morphine, the narcotic drugs. So when you release these hormones, the endorphins, and when you release the dopamine, you start getting a lot of feeling good. You just feel good about yourself, the euphoria that comes with that ejaculation. That's how masturbation becomes addictive. And then during masturbation, these men, they have very low self-esteem. Why? Because after an episode of masturbation, there's some form of guilt that comes with it. Like, I should have not done this. And you promise yourself that I will not do this again. This was the last one. Go to social media. Just go to Instagram and touch on the search button. The first images that you're seeing is a woman with her legs crossed and you're seeing the thigh. You already want to do another ejaculation. You see another one just walking naked. You see another one on the beach. And now you've actually turned against your promise. Now you want another ejaculation. After ejaculation, you're like, God, please help me. I don't want to masturbate again. I am going to fight this. You fight that urge for only 2 days. The best thing to do is not to fight the urge. Men, if you're suffering from chronic masturbation, don't fight that urge. Why? Because it is a spiritual battle. It started as a physical battle, but it went into self-esteem and went into lack of identity and then went into spirituality. So it's a spiritual battle. As you grow into it, as you become more addicted, it becomes a spiritual battle. And when it becomes a spiritual battle, you can only win it through the spiritual guidance. Therefore, do not struggle with masturbation, trying to fight it. Don't fight it. If you're a chronic masturbator, just understand that you will not stop it tonight. Just because Daktari said masturbation is bad, you cannot stop it at once. So simply be cautious, be aware when you're doing it. That night, be aware. Understand that, hey, this is my position right now, and it's okay to be in this position at this moment in time. Don't fight it, accept it. When you accept it, because acceptance is the antidote of resistance. The more you resist it, the more you become. Now you'll move from 1 to 2 to 3, and there are most of you who are doing more than 10 ejaculations through masturbation every single day. So once you accept it, it's easier for you to actually walk through the journey and walk out of it. But before you accept it, it's the same thing that I tell ladies when they are on my platforms. The questions that I ask: 1, what is your name? Number 2, what is your age? Number 3, what is your body weight? When I ask what is your bed weight, every woman will laugh. Then I'm like, why are you laughing? They're like, that one, daktari. Hey, at least for the age I told you. But you see, women are so afraid of saying their age because women see themselves as the younger woman. So women will always see themselves as the younger woman. That's why it's very hard for them to just buy the idea that they're getting older. But men see themselves in the younger men. That's why it's easy for a man to uplift the younger one. So women see themselves as the younger woman. That's why they become envious of the younger women. But men see themselves as the younger men. That's why they tell this guy, hey, you're messing up here. And if you go down that lane, you're going to suffer. That's the difference. And now men should target being that man that every woman wants to be with. But at the same time, being that man that every man wants to be like. It starts with the grooming. You cannot go on a date in an Arsenal t-shirt. You cannot walk into a room with a Manchester United t-shirt and you're expecting people to take you seriously. It's difficult for them to even start buying your idea. Most of you call it fake it until you make it. Now, faking life is very expensive. So I tell you this for free men. Invest in your grooming. Invest in your personality. Invest in your craft. If you have a simple craft, put the sex away for a moment. Focus on this craft for about 6 months and see the difference. Just see the difference. There's something called sexual energy transmutation. My friend, sexual energy transmutation. Did you know that the sexual desire in a man is the highest form of energy and desire? Did you know that? Which means anytime a man is thinking about sex, everything stops to make sense because now a man has 2 heads. And when one doesn't have a brain, but it can easily control this head. So when you start focusing on ejaculation and sex, you lose it totally. You lose the track totally. Why? Because sex was not designed to be your purpose. No. You have a purpose. And even the woman that you're having right now got addicted or attracted to you because of the purpose that you have. Do you know the reason why pastors control women so much in the churches? Because they act as a form of crown. They act as a form of leader. Women love leadership. Women love somebody who can tell them, hey, no to your bullshit. And that cannot come when you're broke. You cannot tell, you cannot tell a woman that this is not going to work when you cannot provide, when she's actually providing for you. How will you start saying these things? You cannot lead a woman when she's the one who is funding you behind the scenes. My friend, women can only provide for the shortest period of time, and they are doing that because they are hoping that your situation changes quickly. They are hoping that your situation gets to change so fast. So as they provide, even that date, as she buys you that coffee, remember, she will remind you about that 4 years down the line, even though you bought 10 more coffees for her. So as you go on that date, simply take charge. As you walk into that room, take charge. Dress nicely, smell nicely. Brush your teeth. Some of the men, my friend, you eat a lot of cakes, and then even brushing teeth is a problem. Some of you have halitosis. Your mouth is smelling crazy, bro. And I don't know. Those people who have a smelling mouth, and this is not to disrespect them, but this is just the reality. Do they know? And this is for all genders. When you have a smelling mouth, you have that, they call it halitosis. Do you know that this is there? Do they know that this is a problem? Because some of them will talk, and you're like, hey, Where? So groom yourself nicely, wear nicely, invest in some form of dress up, and have your quality style. Have some good cologne. Walk into that room, chest out, shoulders down, and neck straight. Be confident, be bold. Leave the talking fast to me. I can talk so fast, so leave that to me. For you, practice talking slowly and in a way that somebody can understand. Mine, I can run away with that. I can run away with being the opposite of a stammerer. But can you? So walk there, make your points known. Some of you, somebody can ask you a question and you keep answering things that are, I don't know, you keep explaining. It's just a direct question. It's a yes or no answer. But the, yeah. But the answer that you're giving, then somebody starts to think, hey. Now the answer that you're giving actually giving me a chance to even pin you down. Talk less. When you're asked something, answer it directly. If you have the answer, if you don't have the answer, simply consult. Say, I'll consult. But be bold, be confident as a man. Testosterone will do that for you. Listen, you cannot train yourself to be bold when your testosterone levels are on the floor. You start acting shy because your estrogen is so high. So now you're feminine. And guess who you're going to attract? The people on the alphabet. People on the alphabets. They'll be there. Oh, hey, bro, hey. They'll even call you sis. Hey, sis. And you get so upset. It's not their fault. It's because you're portraying the feminine energy and they're thinking, this one is ours. In yet, start thinking, bro. Start being bold. Be confident. Walk there and have some content. Because if you have a craft that you're investing in, be confident in it. Let me tell you something. When I was starting these platforms, of course, I had my own doubts. And those who have been here for the longest time know already the growth. They can see the growth that we are going through. We are at 25,300 people on YouTube. We are at 67,300 people on Facebook. We are at 5,000 people both on Instagram and X. We are at 5,000 people on Telegram. What does that tell you? That a man has to build some value. So the value that is coming with that, and it's not even, we are not rushing things. Even if I had 2 people, I remember there was a time on YouTube I had 100 followers and I still put up videos. I still will teach you things on that board and people appreciate. Those 100 people, about 10 of them will watch my videos and they appreciate it. And I'm like, okay. At least one shares the video. Look at us now. We are at 25,000. People can walk on your live, watch that live, learn something, but they'll never like. They'll never share that video. But they'll be quick to type in the comment section, this is wrong. This is wrong. So listen, you don't focus on that energy. Simply focus on your craft. It's your craft. When I was starting this, of course, I had my own doubts. I was like, how will doctors approach this? When I say this thing, will they now come after me? How will this nutritionist think about it? Should I sugarcoat it? Should I put it in a way that they don't get offended? Will I be accepted? So I was actually being that person who is so weak. And from within, I was portraying that energy. And exactly what I was thinking is exactly what was coming in my comment section. Look at TikTok. That's exactly what was coming in my comment section. Like, hey, Doc, you're not even a doctor. I'm like, I don't have to be a doctor to share this. And there was a time I used to come after you. You text there, I'm there. I give you a hey. And then they started believing, but half-heartedly. And then they started practicing, but without even me knowing. And then it worked for them. And then that confidence just blew up. And now I can sit here and roll a conversation with your favorite doctor and expose the weakness and the evil that I've always seen and asked questions in the healthcare system. It did not come overnight. Stop being that guy who just wants the car keys now. Why do you want a car when you cannot fuel it consistently? So don't be that type of guy, okay? And now alcoholism has become a serious problem in our youth. Every young guy is taking alcohol every weekend. We actually live for the weekend. So and actually, listen, men, and I think you should find some financial advisors because I'm not one, but this is a reality. Stop living beyond your means. Why? Because the reality is this. Most of the times we budget our salaries. We don't write a budget, and then our salary funds acts as a funding to the budget. We actually budget our salaries. So you have 30 days and you're paid possibly 30,000 shillings. So that's 1,000 shillings every day. So when you have this amount of money, what you're thinking is, I have to pay rent, I have to buy food, I have to send money home, I have to do this, and then I have to save. That is your thinking. So because you're budgeting the salary. And now, 5 days after getting that salary, you are super broke. You will even eat into your savings. Because we take 30 days waiting for a salary, and then we take less than 5 days to spend the whole salary because we budgeted for the salary. We did not write a budget, and then the salary acted as one form of funding that budget, because that's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be you write a budget, and then your salary becomes one form of funding that budget. So the problem is we sit down and we budget our salaries, and then 5 days down the line, we have nothing. So we have to wait for 25 more days for another salary. You become a slave to the system. Now you have to wake up so early and go and please somebody so that they can pay you for that service that you've given them. Instead of you focusing on investing in this craft and becoming the best that has ever been. That is testosterone. So when your testosterone is high, a man is unstoppable. But then how will you have high testosterone when you're focusing on the weekend? You're just thinking, if I get 5,000 this week, I have to buy alcohol. I have to make sure that I have a girl and then have sex. And then that's it. And then on Monday, I have to buy this girl the emergency pill. Shall be chaotic. On to the prostate enlargement. I've put up videos about prostate enlargement, but I said this. There is a hormone that is actually involved in building the prostate. Building. One hormone is called estrogen. The other one is called IGF-1. IGF-1. IGF-1 is actually another form of insulin. So when you have high insulin in your system, basically you're eating so much carbohydrates, because when you eat carbohydrates, you get a spike in glucose, so you have to bring in insulin to lower that glucose. So that spike in insulin will actually bring you insulin resistance. When you have insulin resistance, you'll have high glucose in the blood and high insulin in the system. Hyperinsulinemia, high insulin in the system, is actually one of the reasons why you have an enlarged prostate. Also, estrogen is a building hormone. That's the reason why in reproductive health in women, fibroids, PCOS, those growths in the uterus, cancer, are actually brought about by high estrogen levels. Unfortunately, when you go for therapy, you'll be given another estrogen. A mess. So when you have estrogen rising in a man, you're going to start building up the prostate. And then when it starts building and bulging, it obstructs the urethra and it presses against the bladder. Now it becomes difficult for you to pass urine. You're actually having the urge to pass urine because of the pressure that is being exerted. The pressure that is being exerted on the bladder. And now you cannot urinate because of, again, the pressure that is being exerted on the urethra. And now that becomes a serious problem. And now you go to hospital and they give you a drug that is an alpha-1 blocker, blocker, to open up that urethra so that you can easily urinate. But have they fixed the estrogen? They have not. So this is a temporary solution, and solution in quotes. So lower the estrogen by changing the diets, drop the inflammatory foods, start taking cold showers. Now, when you say cold showers, you'll hear men saying, oh, I have asthma. Oh, cold showers give me an itchy skin. Oh, when I take cold showers, that is pneumonia. You are so messed up. There is no relationship between cold showers and pneumonia. Were you raised the days that children used to play in the rains and we enjoyed it? Were you raised those days? Nowadays, we don't do that. How then did rain start causing you pneumonia? Asthma is an inflammatory condition. How is cold water going to cause you inflammation? Allergies are because of your messed up gut. So how did cold water come in to cause you allergy? You just exposed what has been there for the longest period of time. It's just all about the issues that you can fix. But because you don't want to fix, you want to play a victim. Cold showers for me. Aye, daktari. With this weather, cold showers for me. Now you think life will be easier anytime soon? You think nature will just align to you just because you are a weak man? Nature cannot align to you. You'll just be punished.